Russ, you preparing as though anticipating you're going to be the starter?
I'm preparing to get ready to go. We're all just doing a great job. We had a great week of practice so far. We're going to have another great day tomorrow.
How is this week different for you than the first 6 weeks of the season?
I'm more myself, physically being on the run and all that stuff. So I feel good. It's been a great week so far, and we're just we're just excited to play on Sunday night, obviously at home in front of our fans.
Mike talked about the rust. Do you think you knocked that off? Is that something?
Yeah, every time your first game of the year for me, but I've been fortunate to be in a lot of first games. So the confidence is there obviously, and then obviously just being out with the guys. That's the fun part about this game is just playing the game you love and doing the physical part of getting in the end zone hopefully and scoring a bunch of touchdowns.
Russ, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Do you feel like if you play against something to prove?
I think every time you step into the white lines, you're proving something. You're proving who your team is as a group, who we are as a team. That's the focal point, and obviously going out, they have a very good defense. They do a lot of great things on defense, so we got to bring our best game.
Russ, when we asked Mike Conley about the offense, it's been really good, not great. What do you hope that you can do to elevate to that next level and make it a great offense?
I think first of all, I think Justin's done a great job. I think he's a tremendous quarterback. I've gone against him over the years. He's a tremendous football player, a great teammate, and all that. And I think more importantly for us, as we continue to go on through the season, we want to get better and continue to grow. That's always the goal every year, right? Is continue to progress. To continue to get better from game in to game out. As you go on from game 6 to game 7, 7 to 8, you want to just keep rising, keep getting better. And I think the best thing for us is, just focusing on winning this week. Nothing else down the road, nothing else, and just being in the moment, man, embracing the moment. We get to play the best game in the world, the game of football. You get to do it with 10 other guys in the huddle. There's a great group of guys in this team, leadership and everything else. So that's what we're focused on, just continue to get better every day.
What does feeling more like yourself look like? Was there a point when you realized this is where I need to be? I feel better.
Yeah, I think you want to be able to move around and it's obviously I've never really missed games before. So that's been a challenge in itself. It's been disappointing, but also I've grown a lot too. I think that you realize that. You just continue to love every day. You continue to find ways to lead. You continue to find ways to just embrace the challenges, the hard stuff, the obstacles in our way, and everything else. And you look forward to the journey. My favorite scripture is James 1:2. Consider it pure joy when you go through trials and tribulations, because it's the testing of your faith. And I think that by faith you got to continue to believe that the best day tomorrow is going to be the best day, and just continue to just focus on that path. And that's kind of how I've been focused along the way, just cheering on our teammates, doing everything I can to help on game day, even though I wasn't able to physically be out there. But I think the opportunity to obviously play for the Pittsburgh Steelers, what a gift. And you realize that every time you get to put on the helmet and everything else, it's a true gift. I thank God every day for it.
Russ, did you learn anything watching?
Coincidence that you quoted the same Bible verses fields earlier this morning, or are you talking to him and sharing some of the same message?
No, I think we share the same faith. When we've gone through some stuff, we obviously communicate, and I shot him a text just letting him know that man, I'm just proud of him. I've just being an African American quarterback in the National Football League. I remember when I was a rookie coming in, there wasn't many of us, to be honest with you, and the journey was hard, it was challenging, it was just playing quarterback in general was hard, and then with all the obstacles and everything else, and so I cherish that, and I think that you lift other people up, vice versa, and he's a great player. I know who I am too as a player, and who we are as a team, and what we can be, and the best thing is that potential doesn't mean anything though. We got to do it. We got to do it as a team. We got great potential. We got to do it as a team, and we're doing that. We're in the process of that. That's the fun part. That's the part that you embrace and you love, and we'll keep going.
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
You mentioned you haven't missed any. Did you pick anything up watching? Was that beneficial to you?
Yeah, I think you always learn. You learn every day at practice. You're constantly growing. You're constantly studying the game. Now I'm obsessed with the game of football, so it's. There's always stuff that you're watching from our team, other teams, what they're doing, how we're doing it. I think that to be able to also, really just be in the system, and just it's been great, just learning from Arthur. I'm excited about the opportunity.
Russ, you mentioned challenges as being an African American quarterback. What are some of those challenges that you've been overcoming your career?
I think coming in, first of all, you battle with the height. Everybody's saying you can't do it from that. Second of all, I think that just I think early on when you come into the National Football League, and for me it was 2012. There's some great guys that were doing it at the time. Obviously Cam Newton, Colin Kaepernick. There was, there's Robert Griffin came in the same class as me, Tyrod Taylor, but there wasn't that many of us playing. And now it's cool to see, just the growth of the game. Obviously I was fortunate to win the Super Bowl his second year in the NFL, and to be the second, African American quarterback to win. Man, that's one of my coolest honors ever. And think about all the guys that came before me, and I learned from, and I watched, guys like Donovan McNabb, and I watched Michael Vick, he's a Virginia guy, just so many other greats too. And so, I think you're constantly learning, and I think the challenges along the way are familiar, in terms of, the obstacles and everything else you have to deal with. But I think it's also one of the greatest gifts too. And so when much is given, much is required. And there's a journey, there's challenges, there's things, but also it's the best thing in the world to be the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. So it's just it's a gift, and I'm grateful for it.
Timing is important in any offense. Timing is important in any offense. How have you worked on that timing with guys like Calvin, George, guys that you have never played a game with?
Yeah, I think you're constantly working extra. You're doing it. Even when I was injured and everything else, we were getting extra work on the side. So that was key. Doing as much as I could, but also, I think just talking ball. These guys love football. Calvin, George, and just talking details and what his thought process and how we see things. And then Van Jefferson, he's a guy who's a champion, a guy who's a great, tremendous worker. Scotty Miller, there's so many guys that we have, the plethora of receivers that we have, the tight ends, the running backs. Obviously Pat Fryermuth's so talented. Darnell. I look forward to the guys that we have, and I always think that the dark horse of guy who's one of the probably the smartest and gets the game of football is Connor Hayward. I think just how he sees the game. So I think with our backs and with our guys up front and everything else, we got a lot of opportunity, and we're just constantly learning. And I think that's how you create the timing, rhythm, and the work.
Russ, where is your admiration of Aaron Rodgers? If you get any extra charge being on the field and competing against quarterbacks?
He's a tremendous quarterback, obviously, Hall of Fame quarterback guy who's been in the league for a long time. We've had some battles along the way and everything else. And so, I really respect how he throws the football, how he goes about throwing it, and it's very special to watch.
Plus, how do you navigate maybe any awkwardness that comes in the quarterback room when there could be a switch, a change at the starting position? You've been in the league a long time. Just how do you kind of navigate those situations?
I went through a challenge last year, kind of unexpected along the way, and that was challenging itself. But at the same time, you lead with love. You lead with love for the game, love for your teammates, just love for what you get to do every day. And through that, that's where I think that's where you grow as a group, as a team, and everything else. And I'm just grateful for the opportunity. I know Justin is grateful too, and we're working our butts off every day. And for me personally, I came here for one reason. That was to win the Super Bowl. That was to go as far as we could and see where we could go with it. I think we have that opportunity. But we got to do the work. There's a lot more to go. There's a lot more games. There's a lot more tough challenges along the way. And through those challenges, I think love's going to bring it all together and just allow us to embrace one another and just understand that the obstacles are going to be worth it, and we're going to overcome them all, and we're going to do it together.
What kind of challenges both the Jets pass rushing and their secondary present?
Yeah, their pass rush is real. The secondary is talented. Their linebackers fly around. They do a lot of great things. So we got to be ready. We got to be on our A game.